Hello, my name is Brian Burnham, and this is Module 12, a case study for EDL 852 for Dr. Nathan Reed. What do we know and how did we get here? The facts. The Lightville Community School District has experienced an unanticipated amount of growth over the past several years. The area has steadily increased due to in-migration by 2% each year and is showing no signs of slowing down. Low land costs and current demography are what is attracting individuals to this area. 3 options have been presented by an architectural firm, which was approved and hired by the school board at the suggestion of the superintendent. The 3 options are as follows. Number 1, build an addition to the junior-senior high school that's currently in place and move the 6th grade from the elementary facility to the junior-senior high facility. Number 2, build additions to both existing schools. Or number 3, build a new middle school housing grades 6 through 8, thus removing the 6th grade from the elementary school and the 7th and 8th grade from the secondary school. The school board approved option 3 with a vote of 4-1 and offered a referendum to the community to vote on the idea of building a new school. This vote was close, rendering a margin of 53% to 47% in favor of the new construction. Candidates were interviewed and a new principal was hired 12 months before the school construction was scheduled to be complete. This time would allow the new principal ample time to develop philosophy, mission, and vision statements for the new school, hire a new staff, and organize and develop the school's programs and curriculum. After staffing was complete, the new principal set off to start on what she thought was the appropriate way to write a philosophy, vision, and mission statement. The new faculty and newly formed committee made up of community members thought a different approach was best, and therein lies our problem. In order to promote the academic success and personal well-being of each student and adult, a collaborative process should be used. The new principal has run into a difference of opinions, and it's her job to lead them, the school, and the community members assigned to this committee through this new process. Issues at hand: where and when? Well, this case study was from 2011. The scenario is described as approximately 1 year from a new middle school being opened. We're talking about a rural community whose official school enrollment 25 years ago was 758. It's now grown to over 1,000, right at 1,200 people or students. It's increasing at a rate of 2% annually on average, which is about 25 kids per year, and which basically means a classroom and a new teacher per year of growth. Who is involved? Well, our characters are Susan Potter, who we're pretending to be in this situation. She's the newly hired principal to oversee the development of the new school in all facets. She favors a collaborative effort, does not want to head the advisory committee because she believes it's a team approach. Helen Burke is the advisory committee chair. She's an English and social studies teacher who only agreed to be the chair after Susan, the principal, agreed to help her perform the role. 4 other teachers, including Miss Burke, 3 other teachers, because Miss Burke is included. Mr. Dan Kelby is mentioned specifically. He's a physical education teacher. There are 4 parents on the advisory committee. Mr. Joe Rawlings is the district superintendent, and then we have school board members. Ms. Potter's having a hard time with the committee understanding that she wants to take a collaborative approach to the development of the philosophy, vision, and mission statements. They all want her to come up with one, and then they'll revise it if they feel necessary. This is not the way she wants her tenure at this new school to begin. The development of a mission and vision statement should be a collaborative effort that takes into account all stakeholders and values and beliefs. Legal and ethical issues, Section 2. It's our job as administrators or building leaders to identify what is both legal and ethical to make the best decision for all of our students and staff in our buildings. We should not be basing our decisions only on one side or the other. Each case is different and must be handled accordingly. Board policy is in place for a reason. However, carte blanche interpretation runs the risk of severely damaging relationships, future endeavors of individuals, and consciences of all stakeholders. Has anyone been harmed by the action or decision of another If so, what way? Does the action or the situation contravene an existing law? Or was there a breach of contract where the actions discriminatory or constituted harassment? The answer to these questions is a resounding no. However, there are some ethical issues at play here. Principal Potter was hired because of her previous track record with the middle school experience and is considered an expert in this area. However, her credibility is being publicly questioned by the group, specifically Ms. Burke and Mr. Kelby. Helen is in a weird position because she is both a teacher and has a brother who is currently on the school board. This could be viewed from an outside perspective as a conflict of interest, given that she has family on the board. Does she have skewed views based on things her brother tells her? Does she lean his direction when she gets his opinion on things inadvertently? And we all do that kind of thing with family. Why does Helen feel the need to persuade the committee members before the second meeting? Is she trying to go behind the back of Mrs. Potter? Is this purposeful? Is it inadvertent? There doesn't seem to be a collaborative voice because Helen is speaking for everyone. Section 3, synthesize and summarize. The statement I came up with is simply, Principal Potter is faced with the conundrum of deciding whether or not to trust her instincts and decide to draft mission and vision statements of her new middle school using a collaborative approach, allowing for all stakeholders' values and beliefs to be taken into account. Or should she take the path of least resistance and go against best practice to maintain peaceful relationships with the advisory committee members? Synthesizing the facts. The people that are involved are the students, the teachers, many of whom were hired from within the district. Ms. Potter, only hired 4 new teachers from outside the district. We have parents, which is a mixed bag of old residents who are primarily farmers and new residents who were attracted to what the area has to offer, which I talk about specifically here in just a second. We have the administrators of the other 2 schools, and then school board members and the superintendent and the district staff. Rural farmland, 60% of the residents live on farms. We have 2 separate communities with the school located 2 miles from the town of Lightville. The area has started drawing in-migrations due to the location within 10 miles of a major city in an adjoining county, the district's rural environment, and low land costs, and the schools are relatively new. As we talked about, we have a documented approximate growth of 2% annually currently going on. We're talking about a public school program, a middle school, grades 6th through 8th. It's a new school being constructed. The old elementary school opened 22 years ago, and it's K through 6th grade. And the secondary school opened 11 years later, 7th through 12th grade, to accommodate those students that began as kindergartners to work their way through as seniors. Things we don't know. We don't know the racial demographics of the area. We don't know the sources of political power in this scenario. We don't know the curriculum makeup of the new school yet. That has not been determined or shared with us. Review and prioritize the information, section 5. What issues might the stakeholders have? Well, the community only voted 53 to 47%. Sorry, I have a fly flying around, I apologize. To determine the new building construction in the first place. There's a conflict of interest between Helen having a brother on the school board and being an advisory committee member and even the chair. And there could be potential problems with school board members because of this. If Principal Potter goes with her gut and ended up requiring a collaborative effort to develop the 3 statements that they're looking to make, then issues could develop between administration and faculty. Have all stakeholders been taken into consideration? Does Principal Potter need to get anyone else involved in this process? What information do I still need to know? Probably need to send out a possible survey to the community. I'd like to get everybody's opinion that lives in the area to find out what their beliefs of what it means to receive a middle school education. What values do they hold important? What do they think is an ideal situation for this new school in 3 to 5 years? That would be the vision statement. What else can Principal Potter learn about Helen Burke? Maybe possibly I could find out the track record she has within the district. Has she had a history of speaking for the group in the past? Does anyone have information regarding her career goals and potential ideas for how this current scenario might play out? Is she trying to make a play for something bigger? Is the school board on board because she makes them out to be? Is she speaking the truth? Or is she just speaking for her brother? Who, by the way, was the only one who advocated on the board to have the new construction built. And then but the rest did vote for it to occur 3-1. Important information. Well, I pulled this from a previous presentation that I've done, but what is the school mission statement? How a school is described to others. For example, answering 3 questions. Whom do you seek to serve? What do you seek to accomplish? And how will you proceed? Mission statements include, and there's 4 things listed right there. I need to speed up my process here. I'm going to run out of time. Pause it to read those 4. Important information continued. What is a school vision statement? A good, powerful school vision statement is one that gives everyone in the organization a vivid sense of purpose in the work that they do. If a school district is serious about changing their visions, they have to do a thorough evaluation of their core beliefs, and they need to know how to express those in clear mission and vision statements. And then the role of a school mission and vision statement is listed there below. Options and possible consequences. Option 1, take no action. To me, this is the one where she would allow the vote to occur, where they said, we want you to write it yourself and then bring it to us to revise. Number 2 is trust her instincts. She would basically kind of take a dictator role and mandate that we're going to do a collaborative process. And or option 3 would kind of be a hybrid approach of those 2. To me, this one is a little bit tough because there's a lot of back and forth and potential, I don't want to say manipulation, but there is some manipulation of stakeholders to kind of get what you ultimately want, but also do enough to appease them as well. So you can read this to give me, to see what I specifically speak about, but this one is very involved and not, in my opinion, the best approach. You're going to have to evaluate your options. Weigh the pros and the cons. I list those here. Taking no action, the cons are running the risk of the superintendent maybe questioning his decision to hire you in the first place. The pro is obviously the committee is happy and the school year starts off much smoother. If you trust your gut and do what you want in terms of having a collaborative effort, the pros are you go with your gut and you do what you think is best and you lay out a collaborative approach and a good set of statements are written. The cons are you risk upsetting your faculty and staff before a school year even starts. And then number 3, the strategic hybrid approach. The pros and cons are listed for that as well. That one's a lot of pulling strings and there's just a lot going on. Makes me nervous. Choose the best option. Obviously, I have stated option 2, in my opinion, is the best, where I trust my gut. This is not going to go over great, but we do have some options due to some circumstances that maybe Miss Helen Burke is not on the committee given her kind of conflict of interests with her brother. So that situation might be able to be resolved. But there's a lot of things at play here. Plus, this gives you an opportunity to show Mr. Rawlings that he made a great decision in making you the building leader. Implementing your decision. You have to choose your path, contemplate what could happen, warn but don't threaten. Be careful how you word things. And then think about what you might do next if the plan of action doesn't work. I've listed all of those things there. You can pause and read that for yourself. I do need to move on. I apologize. Actually, that's my last slide, so this is section 9, the end of it. So I'll take the last 30 seconds to just say the only other option if this doesn't work is to possibly try the strategic hybrid approach. But like I said earlier, this one still causes my moral compass to kind of spin out of control. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, and that makes me nervous. But I do think revisiting the idea of Ms. Burke being on the committee is an important step of this process. Thank you for your attention. My reflection will be listed above the